do this.
AAT Birds Weekly Report is the Eagle news, notes, and analysis you need. All about the birds. It's all birds, all the time.
And welcome to the show, the Eagles block party. It's what it was. Eagles get the win, a hell of a win here. Super slow start. It was absolutely looking dreadful coming out of the half with the fumble and everything that was going on. Eagles are down 26-7, and they come all the way back, and they beat the Rams 33-26 on a Jordan Davis block touchdown return. Yeah, it was unreal. The level of emotions in the game was ridiculous, but they came out 3-0 against a very tough LA team. So it was one hell of a victory.
I agree. I was at the link. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I am exhausted. I went through all the stages of grief. I don't even know what you want to call it. Like I was excited. I was down. I was bummed. I accepted the fact that we were going to get blown out. And then this team just shows resilience, man. And Jalen says it every week. They find ways to win, right? Yeah. Like one week it'll be the offense. The next week it'll be the defense. This week it was special teams. Just hell of a gutsy win. And probably I'd say definitely top 5 craziest games at the link. And I'd say top 3 craziest that I've ever witnessed at the link. And that's like, I'm not counting like the Rams snowball. Like I'm not counting that kind of stuff. Like I'm counting like ridiculous walk-off comeback wins, right? Like that was a fun win. This was crazy.
And it was
a unique win.
It was interesting too, because I saw something that was the Eagles in 2017, they had week 3 was the 61-yard Jake Elliott field goal.
Yep.
And week 3 of 2024 last year was the 61-yard Dallas Goedert big play. And then week 3 of this week was the Jordan Davis's 61-yard fumble return on the block fumble return. And it's crazy. All 61, all week 3, and first 2 were Super Bowl champion teams. So it's crazy. It's interesting. All those things kind of are a little nuts. Another thing I saw too was September 21st of 1975 was the last time the Eagles had 2 block kicks by Bill Berge, I believe. And so it's exactly 50 years ago.
R.I.P. man. Wow. I was trying to think on the way home if I had ever seen multiple block kicks in a game, and I don't know that I have, at least not in person that I can remember. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. 1975.
1975. 50 years to the date.
That's pretty wild, man. Really? So 50 years ago to this exact day was the last time we had 2 block kicks.
Yep.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's a crazy
Absolutely stat. Crazy.
Where did you hear that?
I happened to see it on X. I'm not sure who posted it.
Wow, that's incredible.
I do remember, I did hear it, and then I saw someone post it. I didn't know the date. I just knew the year.
I believe it.
But absolutely crazy. We'll start with the offensive side of the ball here. They started out awfully slow. It just was nothing was.
I thought that first drive was actually pretty good. I liked that first drive.
After the first drive. The first drive.
I felt better after that first drive. That maybe we were back, right? Like maybe we turned the corner. We're not going to be this play not to lose horseshit that we've been seeing. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just going to be a tough, hard-nosed, ground and pound, big third down team like we have been in the last couple of years. And I was like, all right, cool. Like maybe we're cooking. And then after that, it was just stall after stall.
Yeah. Lane going out with the injury. So, you lose him, and then they put Matt Pryor in there, who absolutely struggled with being able to contain the edge and be able to block defenders. And just he wasn't having a good game. He struggled.
And Hurts was licking his lips when he saw him, man.
So it was an absolute tough matchup for Pryor. But they were able to switch it up and add Fred Johnson in there, of course, after the half.
Kudos to them to just be like, hey, this isn't working.
Yeah.
I feel like in the past, we've seen teams that'll be like, hey, listen, he's our second guy. We got to give him a chance. And they were just like, dude, you're going to get Jalen killed, man. Like he got smoked twice. He got smoked on that blitz, that nickel blitz in the first quarter. And then he got, then obviously the strip sack against Verse. Like the coaching staff was like, no, sorry, dude. Like, we'll see what else. We'll see you later. Maybe you're just a guard. And they were willing to switch it up to Fred Johnson. I thought that was a huge move, and obviously a pivotal part to us coming back. Yeah,
they're down 26-7. They get the ball back. Then they decide to throw the ball to A.J. Brown. He had a couple really nice catches. They dropped that one in the basket to him. And then they have the 33-yard touchdown pass over the middle to Dallas Goedert for the touchdown. They were able to get the ball back, and then it just able to drive that back down the field, dicing them up. And it's just, you need to see more of that, be more aggressive. It's like, yeah, you don't want to turn the ball over. I get that. But you need to take shots because you have these playmakers. You have these guys that are able to make these plays, especially when Saquon's getting bottled up.
Yeah.
You need to do that. And they were able to start putting together some drives and be able to cut this lead. And it just was the trickle-down effect of they're moving the ball. The lead's withering away to nothing for the Rams. And they just kept at it. And they had some huge stops. They had some questionable plays, play calling that, was interesting. It didn't come back to bite them, luckily. But it was insane. That fourth down play with Jalen to Smitty was
the touchdown?
as clutch as you can be.
Yeah, man, that was it. You can't get much more clutch than that. You know what it actually kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of the play to Golden Tate in that Bears game.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Type of like little goal line rub route, right?
Yep.
Very similar play. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same play. But dude, that had the link rocking.
Yeah.
But there were a couple plays, to your point, that were questionable on that drive specifically that led to it. I mean, we had to come up with some pretty clutch third downs on that drive. I think two of those. I think there was a 23 and a 26-yarder by AJ on that drive, if I'm not mistaken. That was a 17 play, 91-yard drive, and I believe it took over 7 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, it was an absolute.
That's a
massive drive,
beauty drive, and that's the type of stuff that we expect to see from this team. And I don't know if you heard the post game with Jalen, but he said it on multiple platforms at this point after the game that he approached Patullo and said, "No more of this try not to lose BS. Like, let's let it loose."
Yeah,
and we saw it. We saw it like it was a light switch, right? It was the flip of a switch that the night and day offense, once he was like, take the reins off, let's do this.
Yeah. No,
and again, kudos to the coaching staff for not having the ego to be like, no, man, it's my offense. I'm going to do it the way I want it. They were like, hey, if you're feeling it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like kudos to really having a collaborative effort.
Yeah. And, you really look at it, and the people that wanted to say, oh, well, Jalen didn't have a touchdown pass yet. And, all the people that were like, well, what's going on. As you hear it in the media and as you hear it, certain people talking about it, he proved everybody wrong and said, I can win whatever way I want to win. So it is what it is at that point. And it's just, to me, it's, you look at it and you say, that's why he was a Super Bowl MVP. That's why he is your franchise quarterback. It's because of games like this and moments like this and where he goes and he wills the team back into the game and to come back. This is the largest deficit that they've had to overcome since the Miracle at the Meadowlands with Deshaun Jackson with the kick return touchdown to end the game. So,
both ended on a ridiculous Hail Mary of a special teams play, which is kind of crazy.
Super crazy play.
Yeah, I mean both those games are absolutely nuts. That's the equivalent of the Miracle at the Meadowlands at the Link, in my opinion.
No, I think you're right, and just everything on the offensive side of the ball, how they move the ball, and then what you had on the special teams, and and you even look at the punter, Brady Mann, 55.5 average. Special teams come into play, and it shows you what a job that they are doing to be able to make their factors. The one thing I didn't see, did you happen to see the snap counts by chance? I'm curious to see what Grant Calcaterra's snap count was.
He actually went down earlier in the game.
Okay. So he may have been hurt. Because I saw a lot of Cam Latu.
The only time I saw him after he got hurt was on special teams. And I actually saw more Granson and Latu. So I got a feeling he was on a pitch count after that. So let's see. Let's see if I can find a snap count. But a common theme throughout the first 3 weeks, especially on this show, has been how amazing Brady Mann has been.
Yeah.
He has. I'd love to see his season average so far, but I mean, he had a long of 64, and I think he's had at least 2 70-yard punts this year. I mean, he is
crazy.
Single-handedly flipping the field position.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we talk a little bit more about special teams than I think most do, but Brady Mann is an absolute weapon. I know it sounds strange to talk about your punter as a weapon, but he kept us in that game. And if he didn't break off a 64-yard punt and average almost 56 yards per punt, some of those field goals might be touchdowns.
Yeah, because you look at where the Eagles had to punt out of. They had to punt deep in their end a number of times.
He punted from the goal line and dropped him at 30 multiple times.
Yeah.
So, and that's big when you're playing against a team that can stretch the field like this. We saw it on that Devontae touchdown against Reed Blankenship. If you're going to continuously start with your field position at the 15, I think the 15 was their average starting position today. If you're going to start that way and go 3 and out, you need your punter to boom them, or you're in trouble, man.
Yeah,
so Brady Mann is an unsung hero in this game when you really think about it. On the flip side, if you want to talk about special teams, we'll talk about our kick returners. I don't necessarily fault our kick returners. I mean, they are professionals and they deserve to get yelled at, but their kicker was
knuckling it over.
Dude, they came in with a plan and they said, here's what we're going to do. We don't think they can handle it. They were right, man. We could not handle it. We had Mechie and Tank both missed at least 2 kicks.
Yeah. It was frustrating to watch because, they weren't getting the starting field position.
Yeah.
They were always deep in their zone because they were picking the ball up after they've, jumbled it up and fumbled it up. Yeah. And then you had to go and you had a line of 3, 4, 5 defenders right in your face. You couldn't go anywhere.
No. Especially with this new kickoff rule. Like if you don't cleanly field it, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's a live ball if it lands in that zone. So whether you touch it or not, like it's a live zone, a live ball. So kudos to their special teams because like that could have been the difference. And if you don't have a guy like Braden Mann, and you don't have some big plays like the bomb to AJ Brown, it's a different game. Man.
Yeah, the explosives. They were able to get some explosives, which we've been waiting for in the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the defensive side of the ball, we talked about Jordan Davis before the show here and just like what he's done so far this season. And again, he had another stellar game, the 5 tackles, a sack, tackle for loss, QB hit, of course, the 2 blocked field goals and the touchdown. He was all over the place. He had some massive stops, some big-time plays. They still have to shore up the run defense. There was a lot of holes in there. But again, I feel like something that Vic will get ironed out. That's why you have the coordinator you have to be able to get that squared away. I thought Quinion had a good game, locking down. He really didn't have much on Devontae, didn't have much on him. And Puka was kind of on the second corner, which, Adoree struggled. And, Jacorian was very physical at the end there. We'll see where this plays, whether or not maybe Bennett gets a little more run. It's going to be interesting with that.
When did Adoree come out?
I thought it was late. I thought it was really late in the game.
End of the third, early fourth, right? Somewhere around there?
I think so, yeah, around there.
Bennett had 3 tackles in a pass defense. Adoree had 5 tackles. No passes defense. Multiple big plays given up. Yeah. But before we get on to that, let's talk about Jordan Davis and how big of a bust he is. And how terrible he is as a player. There was a lot of slack about him coming into this year that he needed to come in shape. Something we say every year. He lost it. He lost the weight. He put in the work, and it's showing. Man, he is. Like you said, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL, a QB hit, 2 blocked field goals, and a 19-mile-per-hour touchdown.
Yeah.
At 6'6", 330, he ran at 19 miles per hour. That's insane. It's a little up. It was 18,
freakish.
18.6 miles per hour, I think is what it was, which is absolutely ridiculous. But one thing that's not on the stat sheet is that 3rd down stop that he had on Stafford. Yeah. It was a 3rd and 4.
I think it was 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 maybe.
3rd and 2, and it was overloaded to the right side. They went formation of the field, and they rolled him out a little bit, and it looked like it was completely bottled up by the secondary. But the entire left side of that field was wide open. I mean, and when Stafford started to run, I thought for sure he was getting that 1st down. Like there was no one near him. And then all of a sudden, this giant white spaceship flew out from the middle of his scrum, disengaged his block, and sure enough, it was Jordan Davis running 19 miles per hour after, 40-year-old Stafford. Listen, and people were always like, "Oh, you did well in the combine, but that's he's just in shorts." This is the combine shit. This is where the combine comes into play. The combine comes into play when he runs lateral sideline to sideline and tracks down a quarterback who had like a 15-yard head start and picking up a fumble and running it 61 yards to seal the game.
Yeah, and I thought too, like when Jalix and I forget who was next to Jalix, they kind of like bumped into each other and fell down, and that's when Stafford went around. I'm like, damn it. But then I saw Jordan.
Yeah.
So, like the other thing too, that the edge rushers didn't get much in terms of pass rush. So that was tough there. The guys up in the middle kind of, with Jalen and Jordan, they were getting some push up there. So that was kind of helping a little bit because anytime they blitzed, they were just like kind of blitzing into each other. It really wasn't getting home. So, a couple things, to shore up there. But I thought all in all, second half, the defense played great because they were able to stop them. The 2 blocks are huge in the special teams aspect, but like they were able to have a huge stop, 4th down, hold. And to me, it's just like in the first, I would say, I guess in the first half, they were able to hold them to field goals, which are huge because the game could have really been out of hand. But in the second half, they just totally locked it down. And of course, they were given a short field when the fumble. So that was kind of they gave up 7 points in the second half. That was kind of tough to have to go in and try to stop that. But I thought they adjusted very well and they played very well in the second half.
And that's the story of Vic's defense this year, right? In week one, the big story coming out of that game was 0 points allowed in that second half. Same thing here. I mean, to your point, they gave up a 7-yard touchdown, but like after that, they were locked down. And like, how wild is it to be cheering on an Eagles team with not only competent, but like all pro level linebacker play?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic to watch.
Zach Bond is such a pleasure to watch. And he's so fun to watch. Like, he gets his hands on you and you're done, right? Yeah. Like, if he's touching you, you're done. And then he's got that interception he had, very reminiscent of the Super Bowl. Outstretched, took it right out of his hands. I think he had another pass breakup at one point. He's just like, he closes so quickly. And there was one, actually, I remember what it was. I think it was a crosser to Atwell. And it looked like it was open. But I honestly, I think Bond was baiting it. And he closed at 250 miles or 250 pounds like a heat-seeking missile and just popped it. I mean, it's just such a pleasure to watch because you can see these guys actually setting up the quarterbacks and like understanding their athleticism and their extreme athleticism that they have and just exploding. Like, I thought Jahad Campbell had a hell of a game today too.
Yeah.
I wish he was more aggressive in the hole. I wish he was meeting the running back in the hole a little bit further upfield. But he had a lot of really clutch tackles on runs that could have been a lot worse. But it's just so much fun to watch Jahad and Bond play the linebacking position. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Dean's back, but right now they're set, and it's so much fun to watch as a fan.
It is so much fun to watch. Now, next week they got a tough matchup with the Buccaneers, who pulled off another game-winning victory at the end there. Their third straight, I believe. So they're 3-0, 3-0. Eagles have to go to Tampa, 1:00. It's going to be a tough day. They struggled in the day with Tampa. The last win that they've had in Tampa during the day, I'll reveal that next week. Well, this upcoming week in our show that's going to drop later this week with – I don't want to put it right now. But listen, it was – I know. It was a great game. It was fun. That second half was so fun to watch. Get the win. Now it's time to focus on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll be back for the show where we break that down. AATBIRDS game plan with the Buccaneers, and it was fun. But we'll talk more next time. And I always end it with a very happy, and this time it's very happily and joyful because the Eagles got the win.
Holy smokes.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
This is Matt Ware. Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the bird.
All birds all the time. All birds all the time.
All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.